right, Glenn, 3 points on the opening day. Not sort of quite sure how to sum that game up, but as you say, bottom line is 3 points and a win.
Yeah, I think that is literally how to sum it up. A win's a win, 3 points. That there was many moments last year where I don't think we would have had that amount of resilience at time in terms of giving away possession and being a little bit sloppy. Too many transitions in the second half for our liking. I thought we were very good in the first half, and I felt second half we were a little bit on the back foot, but credit to North Leigh that they made a couple of tweaks and changes and brought them back into the game from a set piece. So
it was a dream start after only, I think, 3 or 4 minutes. Alfie Stanley putting his head with a lovely finish, back heel, sort of into the goal. How big a moment was that to kick the game off?
I think it's you want your strikers scoring goals, don't you, early on? You don't want them waiting a game, 2-3 games. And I felt he was absolutely deservedly of his 2 goals. You know, you speak about the first goal, and it was really well worked down the left-hand side. Some nice combinations between, you know, Matty Neal, Louis Slough and Shaquille getting behind and then cutting back for Alf, as you said, with the back heel. So that was really good to see. And then, you know, he's taken his second goal extremely well, anticipating that pass back to the keeper and finishing from a tight angle. So we know Alf will score goals, and that's, you know, a massive plus, getting him off the mark. And I think, you know, it won't be long before you got the Matty Neals and the Olibamas and the Shaqills on the score sheets.
Brilliant. As you mentioned, obviously then sort of second half, North Leigh came out and attacked it a bit more. How pleased were you with our defensive sort of performance in the second half?
Yeah, ironically, we just discussed Arsenal's display last night, you know, and them sort of showing a huge amount of resilience, and I thought we defended our box really well. And you know, the back three has changed, back four, back five. They're new, they're getting used to each other, but I felt they dealt with pretty much everything, you know. And Yordi, 17, 18 years old, and, you know, Kieran and Buckers and, you know, Louis Slough, Harvey, you know what I mean? They were all young lads, they're getting used to each other. But I felt, you know, they could be extremely proud of their second half performance then, boys. And you know, I don't even leave out Brad. You know, he made 1 or 2 stellar saves and commanded his box extremely well and came for a couple of crosses that he had no right to get. So
brilliant. Obviously this week we announced Jordan Ngalu signed for the club. First time we've not had to call him a trialist. What did you make of his performance out there today?
Yeah, George, you saw all the good bits in George's game out there, and then the lad hasn't played a lot of football, so you can't expect too much too soon. It's a hot day out there, and he did look leggy, you know, after 60-70 minutes, and I think that was key and pivotal in our play. We couldn't get him on the ball as much as we'd like in the second half as first half as we had him, but you know, I know all about Jordan Ngalu, and he's just going to get stronger and stronger and stronger for us, that's for sure.
And as well off the bench, we brought on Alex Moyes for his debut as well. He joined the club late this week as well. What do we expect from him?
I feel the substitutions impacted the game really well. They didn't necessarily change too much, but what they did do is they provided a huge amount of energy and tenacity and willingness to go and press the ball. And I thought Moisey did that incredibly well. And Grigsby was extremely disciplined, the way he sort of stayed in and held together and screened them areas and won the ball back in terms of the second balls that we perhaps wasn't winning as much as we'd like in the middle of the park. So I thought, you know, he said he's full of energy. He passes well. He broke the line a couple of times. And he's been injured as well. So he's been out a little while. He hasn't had a huge number of minutes either. So you know, we were really pleased with Moisey today.
Towards the end of the game, there was a bit of a melee between the benches and all the players on the touchline. What kicked that off? And
I think what kicked it off was frustration on my part. Sometimes you've been away from the game, and that competitive nature comes back into you. We've had, they're not meaningful friendlies that we've been having, but you haven't got that quite competitive nature that you generally have to win a game. And when 3 points are on the line, and you're tasked as a manager to sort of contain that aggression, if you like, and that willingness to win a game of football. And I felt there was a few dubious challenges that didn't go our way, and you know that the officials are rusty like us, you know, and I thought invariably they controlled the game really well. And perhaps on reflection, you know, a yellow card is absolutely fair on myself. Kicking the ball away, it's not acceptable. But likewise, if a player kicks the ball away on a pitch, it's a yellow card. And then, you know, they're player decides to get involved, he's frustrated. It's hot out there, so but it's done and dusted, and it's nice to have that aggression there to go and win 3 points, which is what we want.
Brilliant. And finally, we've got a week off now, or week of training with no games to prepare for a tough away game with Truro next week.
Yeah, we've been short of training sessions, and of course that's my fault. That's due to the number of games we've scheduled for pre-season. So we are in need of training sessions. So it's nice, and generally it's quite rare. You go Saturday, Tuesday straight on it and get as many midweek games in as you can before the pitches turn and to assist with your travel arrangements. So it's nice to have that Tuesday, Thursday to prepare. The players have put an awful lot of effort in today, which is all you can ask. So they'll need that element of recuperation for Tuesday, and we can get our match preparation stuff on Thursday for Truro.